Hello everybody, or should I say, dear muggles? Yep, you heard me right. Today's video is going to be magic, because we're going to take a journey into the mysterious world of Harry Potter. It's been more than 20 years already since the first Harry Potter movie hit the cinemas. As you might know, the movie series tells the story of a young wizard who goes to Hogwarts Magic school and has to fight all kinds of evil antagonists there. You know who. The Harry Potter series was filmed all over the United Kingdom, for example in England and in Scotland. But one place is also shown in the movie series quite often, and that is the British capital, London. And the place I am right now. So let's do what we have to do. Let's check out the Harry Potter filming locations in London. Expecto Patronum. The first shooting location I want to show you today is also the most obvious one. It's the train station where Harry catches the train from London to Hogwarts at the platform 9 3/4, of course. And those scenes were filmed at two different places. The scenes inside the station were filmed right here at the King's Cross station, and the scenes outside the station were filmed over here at the St. Pancras station or St. Pancras Hotel, because as you can see, the building is much more beautiful than this one over here. And here it is, the beautiful building in all its glory. And in fact, this side of the building has absolutely nothing to do with a train station. This is not the entrance of the train station. This is the entrance of the St. Pancras Hotel. As you can see, if you take a closer look at the archway, you can see some letters over there, St. Pancras Hotel. You cannot see them in the movie, and that might be because this hotel was opened in 2011, so 10 years after the movie has been filmed. What we also can not see, of course, is the Weasley car in reality. And in the movie, the picture was cut off at the bottom, so we cannot see all the stuff that's going on below the hotel building. There's a telephone box, for example, some trees and a wall. We cannot see them in the movie. And here's the scene from another perspective. We can see the Weasley car is parking in front of the building, which also makes sense because this is obviously the parking space of the St. Pancras Hotel. You can park your car here. What makes absolutely no sense at all is that there is a red London Muggle bus driving around here because in front of this building there is no bus traffic and there is also no bus stop, so this is just fake. Okay, but let's not spend too much time outside this building. I know what you're here for. You want to see platform 9 3/4, and we will find this place, as I said, inside King's Cross Station, the building right beside St. Pancras. And there are actually two different ways to find the famous platform. The first one is the touristic way, because of course there is a real platform 9 and a real platform 10 inside this building, and right next to these two platforms they built this thing right here for tourists, a trolley in a wall, and somebody will also take a picture of you in front of this trolley, so you can really feel like Harry Potter if you want to. But well, that's not what I'm here for. I want to find the real platform 9 3/4 from the Harry Potter movies, and in fact, we will not find it between the platforms 9 and 10, but instead between the platforms 4 and 5. Let me show you. And here it is, the very first scene from the very first Harry Potter movie that shows King's Cross Station. And as we can see here, not that much has changed, just a few things. For example, there is some kind of a white pillar standing between the platforms 6 and 7 with some cross beams on it. I have absolutely no idea what that is. I think it's for the overhead line of the train. I don't know. You cannot see that in reality anymore. It's not here anymore. I don't know why they have changed that, why they removed this pillar, I have absolutely no idea. If you know something about trains, just write a comment. And they obviously removed the numbers of the platforms for the movie. That makes absolutely sense, because in the movie the platforms 9 and 10 are in reality the platforms 4 and 5, so they obviously had to remove the numbers. And one thing is also quite interesting. If you take a look at the windows on the right side of the train station, they look totally different in the movie. They are much smaller and also round, I would say. In reality, they are much bigger and also rectangular. I don't know what happened here, but I think they have renovated the station within the past 20 years. Speaking of renovation, oh my god, what the heck has happened here? This is the famous bridge Harry and Hagrid are walking along. And as you can see here in the movie scene, there were some quite historic bridge railings that are not here anymore. Meanwhile, these railings are made of glass. Meanwhile, there is also an elevator and an escalator, which obviously also hasn't been here 20 years ago when the movie was filmed. And also there are some display boards for the trains standing around here on the bridge. They also didn't exist when the movie was filmed, but if you take a look at the roof and the archway in the back, then you can see, yep, this was definitely filmed from over here. Here's Hagrid, and as you can see here, yep, they didn't change that much at the roof. It's still the same. Here's Harry taking a look at his ticket, and he says, "Hagrid, there is something wrong. It says platform 9 3/4. Yeah, that was filmed from over here. And of course, this bridge also appears in other Harry Potter movies, like in this one, for example. We can see Professor Moody walking along this historic bridge. And I think this was filmed from a different perspective. It was filmed from over here. We can see the archway in the background. Yeah, that looks quite the same, but the bridge railings definitely are gone. Okay, and before we will finally visit platform 9 3/4, let's go down these stairs, because also these stairs appeared in the Harry Potter movies. For example, in this scene, when Sirius Black comes down the stairs as a dog and then he turns into a human in a waiting room on the right side. Yeah, the scene looks completely different than in the movie, because obviously also the stairs were renovated, and also the waiting room is not here. I don't know why. Maybe they rebuilt the waiting room for the movie. Maybe they also built the scene in the studio. Everything is possible, because also the wall on the right side looks totally different. You can see in reality it's made of several pillars, and in the movie we can see a wall on the right side. So I have absolutely no idea what happened here, but it definitely looks totally different than in the movie. But now it's finally time to visit platform 9 3/4. And to be honest, it's quite hard to find the right pillar where Harry and the Weasley family and all the other students run through to enter the magic world, because obviously they filmed those scenes at different places here in King's Cross Station. If we take a closer look at the movie scenes, we can see in this scene, for example, we cannot see the bridge in the background that we can see here, but in other movie scenes, for example, we can see the bridge in the background. So obviously they filmed those scenes at different places, and that makes it quite hard to find the right pillar. And the other thing that is quite interesting is, take a look at the pillars in reality. They are much thinner than they are in the movie scenes. And I tried to do some research on that. Obviously, they rebuilt those pillars with CGI in the studio or something like that, just to make them look thicker than they are in reality. But well, I'm pretty sure that this pillar right here with the trolley in front of is the right one. That's the pillar where Harry broke through to enter platform 9 3/4. And here it is, the pillar in all its glory. As you can see, it's much thinner than in the movie, but the rest looks quite the same. It looks a bit different at the bottom. There are much darker bricks in the wall. And in reality, they put a trolley point in front of this pillar, obviously to prevent strange muggles from running into this wall all the time. Here's another scene from the very first Harry Potter movie. We can see the Weasley family, Ron and Harry standing at the platform. That was definitely filmed from over here. The only thing that's changed are the numbers. You can see here, they are not here in reality. Here's Harry talking to the conductor. That was filmed from over here. We can see the tube on the left side, which is black. Meanwhile, everything else looks quite the same. And here we have the scene from another perspective. The conductor is standing in front of this pillar, and yeah, we can see the tube on the right side. There's some other stuff hanging on the wall meanwhile. I don't know what that is. Are that security cameras or lights or something like that? I don't know. And we can also see the windows on the left side. Yep, it's the same like in the other scene. They are much smaller in the movie. Meanwhile, they are much bigger. And before we leave this place, a few more things you should know. There is, of course, a reason why they rebuilt the platform 9 3/4 at a totally different place for tourists. This is a real train station and a real platform, and you should not stand around here for hours and take pictures, because that's just annoying for other passengers. So don't do that. And one thing you should also know, if you want to visit the platforms 4 and 5, you can only do that with a valid train ticket, so don't even try to come without one. Just a few kilometers away from King's Cross Station, you will find this normal residential area. Well, only in reality it's a normal residential area, because in the movie Harry Potter, this is the house where Sirius Black lives, the secret house, and also the headquarters of Harry and the Weasley family and all of their friends. And here it is, the famous secret house, which is not secret at all in reality, because it's just standing around here, right next to the road. As we can see, it looks quite the same as in the movie. It has a white bottom, and then there are brown bricks at the top of this house. We can see beautiful British doors. Most of them are black, one is red, and typical British fences and railings, and also the lanterns are still there. Not much has changed. This is the very first scene from the movie. We can see the street from this direction. There are much more cars standing around here in reality. In the movie scene, the road is empty, but the houses are still the same. If you take a closer look, yeah, they look totally the same. And also the tree on the right side is still there. Of course, it has no leaves today because it's still wintertime. As we can see in this scene, obviously the residents of this house still have the same blinds in their windows like in the movie. And here's Professor Moody and all the others. They are walking towards the house from that direction. You can see there is some kind of a park or something with some stairs. They are coming from over there, obviously. And then Professor Moody is knocking on the ground with his walking stick, and the secret house appears. One last thing I'd like to mention: the park, or whatever that is they are coming from, is not accessible, at least for muggles, because there is a gate with a lock. But well, they are wizards, so I'm pretty sure they found their way. The next important place here in London is, of course, Diagon Alley, the place where Harry Potter enters the magic world for the very first time. Unfortunately, Diagon Alley is not a real place. It was built in a studio, so we can't visit it today. But the entrance of Diagon Alley in the Muggle world does exist. And here it is. Yeah, all those scenes around Diagon Alley were filmed at Leadenhall Market, a beautiful covered shopping street from the 14th century. And here is also the place where we will find the Leaky Cauldron, the entrance of Diagon Alley, but to be honest, it's not that easy to find. And here it is, the Leaky Cauldron in 2022, which looks totally different than 21 years ago. As you can see, they obviously renovated the whole facade, and also the windows on the left side are totally different. There is no wooden brown door anymore. The only thing that hasn't changed, obviously, is the building on the right. There is still this typical brown door and also the yellow wall. And in the movie, we can see on the door there is written "More books upstairs." I don't think that this was a real bookstore at that time. I think the plot just follows the book by J.K. Rowling here. And in the book, there is written, "The Leaky Cauldron lies between a bookstore and a music store." In reality, by the way, this shop is an opticon. Of course, there are a few more scenes filmed in the street. For example, this one right here. Harry and Hagrid are walking along a shopping street and they are talking about the stuff Harry needs for school. On the left side, we can see a vegetable store, obviously, in the movie. Meanwhile, this shop is a hipster fancy bowl restaurant, which obviously didn't exist 21 years ago. This scene is a quite funny one because Hagrid actually is still standing right next to the fruit and vegetable store. In reality, obviously this scene was filmed at a totally different place because the numbers of the houses don't fit. Hagrid is standing in front of the numbers 45 and 44. In reality, we can see this is actually numbers 65 and 64. This scene, however, makes totally sense because Harry is standing in front of this building right here, which obviously in the past was some kind of a wine shop or something. We can see the wine bottles in the window. Meanwhile, the shop is empty. There is a sign at the door which says they didn't extend the lease. Harry is still walking and now he walks right next to this shop right here. And as we can see in the movie, there was a really old computer screen in the window of this shop. Meanwhile, it's gone, obviously. And meanwhile, this shop is a sushi restaurant. I don't know what kind of shop this has been in the past, 21 years ago, I don't know. But obviously this place also has been a restaurant or a cafe or something like that. As we can see in this scene, there are people sitting in front of this place, so yeah, that would make sense. Fun fact, if you're searching for the Leaky Cauldron, there's actually also a second entrance here in London. If you remember the third movie, Prisoner of Azkaban, you might remember the night bus scene where the night bus stops in front of the Leaky Cauldron, which is a totally different location than in the first movie. And that's because it was filmed at a totally different location in London, not at Leadenhall Market. It was filmed at Borough Market, the place right behind me. And here's the proof. The night bus drives around this corner over there in high speed, which in reality is not possible because the street is closed for cars. The Borough Market is one of England's oldest food markets, and in this street right here you will find a lot of shops and cafes and restaurants where you can spend the day, but definitely not the Leaky Cauldron. Here's the scene from another perspective. We can see the night bus in the back and we can see a bridge over here, which actually is quite deep, and the night bus was a triple-decker bus, if I remember that right. So I don't know if that works actually. On the right side we see a shop in the movie, a third-hand book emporium. In reality this is Arthur Hooper's, a cafe where you can eat a lot of food, cheese, wine, bar snacks, small plates, private dining, Right next to Arthur Hooper's, we have a pub. On the left side, there is also a Spanish restaurant or tapas bar or something like that. So this is a really great street if you want to eat something. In the movie, it looks like a spooky alley, which is definitely not like that in reality. The night bus hits the car and the alarm goes off. That was filmed from over here. In reality, there's Arthur Hooper's and the Spanish restaurant on the left. In the movie, there was this fake bookshop on the right. This scene was filmed from over here. We see all the houses in the background, and in reality, you can sit around here on the street and eat your food. And then finally, the night bus leaves into that direction and Harry walks into the Leaky Cauldron. I actually don't know which door he takes, but anyway, I'm a stupid muggle, so I can't see it anyway. You might remember the scene when Harry needs to go to the Ministry of Magic because he used magic in front of Muggle, Dudley. Mr. Weasley comes with him, and then they both go down to a train station where Mr. Weasley gets totally confused because of all the Muggle stuff down there. All those scenes were filmed at the train station Westminster Station, which is right behind me. This is the very first scene from the movie. There are many people going down the escalator, also Harry Potter and Mr. Weasley. And in reality, this makes not so much sense because before you go down the escalator, you actually have to go through the ticket control. In the movie, it's shown the other way round. Right on the escalator, you see different signs which say, "Please stand on the right," which I as a German find quite funny because actually England is a left-hand drive country, so actually you should stand on the left and go on the right. Right? I don't know, I'm super confused. Here's the ticket machine. Harry Potter and Mr. Weasley try to get through it, and Mr. Weasley gets totally confused. And if I remember right, they try to put a ticket into the slot of this ticket machine, which actually is not necessary anymore because you can see there are those huge round yellow card readers on top of the ticket machine, and you can just put your credit card on this thing or your mobile phone, or you can buy an Oyster card. That's what I did when I was in London. It's like a prepaid card. You just put it on top of the ticket machine, and then the gate opens, and if you want to leave the station, you just put it on the machine again, and then it calculates the right price for you. Here's the scene from another perspective. Of course, I'm standing a bit further away because there are people walking around. I don't want to film them in close-up, but you can see that this scene was filmed over here. The station still looks the same. There's some kind of a glass building in the back. And yeah, also the roof still looks the same. And just a few minutes away from Westminster Station, we will find the entrance of the Ministry of Magic, which used to be a typical British telephone box in the movie Harry Potter. In reality, it's not even here. Well, and not only the telephone box is gone, also there is a bridge in the Harry Potter movie, which isn't here in reality. That's because obviously this bridge was just a dummy. They built it here for no reason because it's not mentioned in the movie. I have no idea why they built this thing here. It plays absolutely no important role in the movie. There's just a telephone box standing beside it. Anyway, if we take a closer look at the movie scenes, we can see the colors are a bit different. The gates look a bit more greenish. In reality, they are more gray. And there are also some bollards on the walking path, which are not shown in the movie, and that's because I think they haven't been there a few years ago. I think they built them here in the past few years for security reasons. Here's the scene from another perspective. We can see the telephone box, which is fake. We can see the bridge, which also is fake. All other things are not fake. The houses in the background, as you can see, are still the same, and also the building on the left side is still the same. They obviously also removed the bus stop. You see that? Yeah, there is a bus stop in reality. In this scene we can see, obviously, there is some renovation going on the left side. You cannot see the building anymore, which you can still see in the movie. Yeah, I think that's because it's being renovated. The scene also plays a quite important role in other Harry Potter movies. For example, in this one, when Harry, Ron and Hermione try to break into the Ministry of Magic. Here we can see Ron looking around the corner. And what is quite interesting in this scene, look at the house in the back. They changed it for the movie. They put 3 huge windows at the facade. I have absolutely no idea why you should do that. It makes absolutely no sense. This house plays absolutely no important role in the movie. They obviously just did it to make it look better. I have absolutely no idea. And here's the gate again, which in this movie looks completely different than in the other movie. Meanwhile, it's brown. It also has a door. Yeah, in reality, it's definitely not like that. Ron ties his shoes. That was filmed from over here. Not much has changed. You can see the house in the background. And here's the lady that faints in front of this gate right here. And we can see the sign with the security camera still there. But the DST, meanwhile, is the Department for International Trade. Okay, it's time to show you the last filming location for today before the storm will finally blow me away. It's Lambeth Bridge. This place brings us back to the night bus scene. As you might remember, when the night bus catches Harry to bring him to the Leaky Cauldron, the bus has some quite unexpected stops along the road, and one of those stops is right here on Lambeth Bridge. It's the place where the bus squeezes between 2 red London Muggle buses. Let me show you the scenes. Yeah, I'm really sorry for this shaky camera. It was really stormy that day, so I couldn't really hold my iPhone still. Jesus, look at that. Well, this was the scene when the night bus enters the bridge. We can see the monument in the background, which is actually on both sides of the bridge. And we can see all those old historic buildings on the right side. There is some kind of a church and a castle-like building. We can also see them in the movie. Here's the night bus that squeezes between the Muggle buses. That was more or less filmed from over here. And in reality, there are no fairy lights on Lambeth Bridge. I don't know if they just put them there in the movie or if this scene was filmed during Christmas time or something. Maybe there are some fairy lights during Christmas time on this bridge. I don't know. The bridge is not that beautiful, to be honest, so they should better put them here again. We cannot really reconstruct that scene because it was filmed from above, but yeah, it was obviously filmed from that side. We can see the beautiful London skyline in the background, right at the River Thames. And this is the last scene. We can see the impressive, huge buildings at the end of this bridge. What we cannot see is obviously the night bus, because we're still stupid Muggles. So, here we are, back in the hotel. That was a really stormy day today, but it was also a lot of fun. And of course, there are many more Harry Potter movie locations right here in London, but also in the whole UK, more than you can visit in just one day. So if you liked this video, please let me know in the comments if we should do something like that again. Of course, I can do a second Harry Potter movie location tour if you want. So let me know down below. If you liked this video, then please leave a thumbs up. You can also hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss any upcoming video. And if you like to support me and my work, then please check out the Patreon link in the description, or you can become a channel member on my YouTube channel. Then you will get exclusive stuff and new videos before everyone else. That's it for today. Have a safe journey and see you next time.